From July to November 1st, the Spirit Halloween 2021 season has been one of the most memorable and action-packed ones ever. Today, I break down every piece of Spirit's year to put a bow on the season. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and ladies and gentlemen, it looks like this is the end of the line. It looks like there's no more moving forward, and of course I am talking about the Spirit Halloween 2021 season. Now it's November 1st, 2021, which means Halloween was yesterday, and it means that all Spirit Halloween locations will be closing tomorrow. They close on November 2nd, so we are right in that in-between weird phase, the day before they close and the day after Halloween. We are right in the middle. Now, for a while now, I've been trying to plan out and figure out a Spirit Halloween 2021 season overview video where I would talk about all the different parts of the season and what I really thought about it. Now, I've been thinking about when I wanted to release this video, when I wanted to film it, and I've decided that I want to release the video on November 1st because, like I just said, it's right in the middle there after Halloween, but right before stores close. I think this is the perfect time to discuss everything I thought about the season, from the preseason to the flagship store's grand opening to the animatronic lineup to the themes, and overall what my thoughts were of the entire season and how I think 2021 compares to previous Spirit years. I think this is a really, really cool season, and I'm going to discuss every intricate thing that Spirit Halloween did for the 2021 season and why I believe this year was really so good. There's so many things that happened this year, so much to discuss from July to November 1st. There is a ton to discuss, and today you're going to hear my thoughts on every single thing. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I've got my Halloween factory sign from the ISE in the background. I've thought about everything about the 2021 season. I have all of my thoughts and all of my opinions about the season ready to share with you. So, let's kick it off with my Spirit Halloween 2021 season overview with Part 1, the preseason. Well, the preseason for Spirit Halloween 2021 kicked off the entire season and really set a path for what it was going to do for the rest of 2021. So obviously, I think the thing that kicked off the season and the thing that everybody knows about is the graveyard shift. From the graveyard shift clock, which was the first thing, to the graveyard shift trailer, there is a ton of excitement that kicked off the season all the way back in July. But in order to talk about it, we're going to have to start all the way back in the beginning with the graveyard shift countdown. So obviously, if you remember, back in the beginning of July, I believe right at the end of June, actually, we had the Graveyard Shift Countdown, SpiritHalloween.com/the Graveyard Shift, the page that would become infamous for the rest of the Spirit Halloween season, and the page that would be visited very highly, the page that everyone would know about, and the page that would create all of the excitement for this season. The countdown was set to end on July 15, 2021, and it had various images in the background that gave us a bunch of hints toward what we would see later in the season. For example, Mr. Howell's blueprint poster was the first glimpse that we got at Mr. Howell, and the other animatronic that we saw was Henry Hustle's blueprint. Those were the two first animatronics that we saw for the 2021 season. They were both in blueprint form in the background of the Graveyard Shift Countdown. Now, this is obviously a super exciting moment in the whole Hunter community. This was the first thing that ever happened for Spirit Halloween 2021 with the graveyard shift going up. It created a ton of excitement, and people were really excited to know what was going to happen on July 15th. I predicted that we were going to see the ISE videos be released. I was inaccurate, but what we did see was some animatronic releases, which I will talk about in a little bit after I finish talking about the graveyard shift. Obviously, the second thing that happened for Spirit Halloween 2021 was the Graveyard Shift trailer. Must I say, might have even shook up the internet in the Halloween community just a little bit more, because this actually featured a bunch of shots of animatronics. It featured our first look at the return of Wacky Mole Clown from 2013 returning for the 2021 season. It gave us a look at his face. It gave us a look at a bunch of the set pieces that were used in Penhurst Asylum, which is where all the stock photos and stock videos were filmed for the Spirit Halloween 2021 season. And it gave us a glimpse at even more animatronics that we did not even get to see in the Graveyard Shift Countdown with Mr. Howell and Henry Hustle. The Graveyard Shift trailer was something like Spirit Halloween has never done. They've never done a trailer like that or any sort of exciting clip to kick off the season. Sure, they've done the haunting of the SS Riptide and Tragedy Strikes at Spirit Acres Farms, but that was not even close to as similar to what the Graveyard Shift actually was, the trailer. The trailer was really, really well put together. It was short, but it got the point across, and it gave us that awesome look at Wacky Mole Clown that shook up the internet and took the Halloween community by storm. Wacky Mole was definitely the most prominent thing that we saw in the Graveyard Shift trailer, and it got people very, very excited and interested to see if he would be different at all or not. Soon after the Graveyard Shift trailer came out, we had some high brightness and high contrast images of that Wacky Mole frame came out, and it seemed to look like Wacky Mole was exactly identical, which it turns out he was when we saw his official release. He was exactly identical, except for the shoes and a couple of mechanical differences to the original 2013 model. The Graveyard Shift trailer was an awesome point in the 2021 season, and it kicked off all the excitement in the theme of the Graveyard Shift that we would get more hints about and more looks at for the rest of the season. And the Graveyard Shift in a whole, from the countdown to the trailer, was easily one of the most exciting things we saw the entire season, and it was definitely awesome to kick it off the season that way, and I hope they do something similar for 2022. Now, let's discuss Part 2 in my Spirit Halloween 2021 season overview. The Flagship store opened on July 31st, 2021 for the Spirit Halloween 2021 season. Now, obviously, I attended the event, along did a lot of other haunters. It was over 200 people attended. It was an awesome event all around. It, must I say, event, not opening. It was a complete event that the Spirit Halloween corporate team did a fantastic job putting together. Now, obviously, the Flagship store opening was the very first time that we got to see the ISEs, the themes, the Halloween factory, along with all the animatronics in person for the first time ever. Everyone raced down to Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, where the Flagship store is located, on July 31st to be among the first to catch a glimpse of what was happening for 2021. Now, the whole experience was so incredible and such a surreal moment for me. It was my first time ever going to the Flagship store. I drove down 4 hours. It was a 4-hour drive for me down to Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. I stayed over the night before in a hotel. I drove over July 31st morning at around 6 a.m. They opened at 11, and I saw a line of people already. I was number 12 in line. And later in the day, number 12 proved to be pretty good because there was over 200 people and I was 12 of 200. So I guess that is pretty good. The crowd was crazy, but it was a bunch of haunters. We all had our video cameras. We were all filming videos. And when they let us into the store, it was an incredible experience of the corporate employees ringing the cowbells, seeing the Halloween Factory entrance sign along with Baphomet and Mr. Howell in the front. The whole entrance to the Flagship store was absolutely incredible, and the whole experience in a whole was absolutely amazing. I really, really enjoyed seeing the animatronics and themes for the first time ever in person, and I think seeing things in person, people were much more impressed with the size of the factory floor, the back ISE, when they got to see it in person. I know I was definitely shocked seeing that it was over 10 feet tall, and I was so impressed with the size of the factory floor. Now, I have to say, I think that the most the thing that we noticed the most on the Flagship store opening on July 31st was Mr. Dark. Now, obviously, on July 31st, we had not gotten any glimpses at Mr. Dark as of yet, other than a picture of him in the manual. We had no stock photos of him or no video, so no one knew what he actually did. Now, I was actually in the first group that went into the store, so when we saw Mr. Dark turn on, nobody else had seen him yet. Someone just pressed his button, not knowing what was going to happen. He sprang up to 8 feet tall, and we were absolutely amazed. I cannot even describe what that feeling was when we saw Mr. Dark activate for the first time. It was absolutely incredible. No one thought that he was going to do that. We sort of got the idea that he was a lunging prop, but we had no idea that he was going to go up to that tall. Absolutely insane moment seeing him like that, and honestly, I think it was much cooler that we didn't know what he was going to do, because if we knew that we went into 8 foot, he would not be as cool seeing him for the first time, but not knowing that and going into the store and seeing him spring up to 8 feet tall was absolutely insane. I bought Mr. Howell on July 31st at Flagship Opening. I got the only one that they had in stock, and that was an awesome experience getting the only Mr. Howell they had. I was shocked seeing him in person as well. He was way bigger than I thought he was, and getting him home, he was even bigger than what I thought he was seeing him at Flagship, so he just got bigger and bigger. Absolutely loved that. I really enjoyed seeing the animatronics that we didn't get a glimpse at before, such as Baphomet, Harriet Hustle, Pennywise, these guys that we hadn't gotten to see yet. I had a really fun time seeing them in person, and the themes were just absolutely incredible seeing them for the first time at the Flagship store. I was amazed by the liquid floor tiles, getting to step on them and seeing how they all moved around. Flash forward to today, I actually got to pick up 6 of the floor tiles a couple days ago from my store, so I was really impressed with them at the flagship, and then I got to pick them up a couple days ago. The whole thing in a whole, I mean, the ISE was absolutely incredible. Both of them, the factory floor and the assembly line. Really enjoyed seeing them at the flagship store. It was so perfect, and it was an awesome moment getting to hang out with a whole bunch of other haunters and experiencing the ISEs and the animatronics for the first time ever in person. And it would set up the next part of the season where I'd get to attend my local store's opening just a few weeks later. Now, that leads us into part 3, ranking the animatronics. So after July 31st, I had gotten to see every single in-store animatronic in person and displayed. Now that also includes only the ones that are meant to be featured in the ISEs, not like the filler props like W. Wraith, Headless Jack. I hadn't gotten to see those set up yet, but I had gotten to see all of the main animatronics in person. And then a couple weeks later, I would see some of them all set up again at my local stores. Now that brings us into part 3, which is ranking the animatronics of the season. Now, I have to be completely honest, I think the animatronics for the Spirit Halloween 2021 season were all absolutely incredible. From the returners, like the return of Wacky Mole, and then the return of Grave Grabbing Corpse online only, but obviously Wacky Mole was a bigger deal. Seeing Wacky Mole return was absolutely awesome. He was such a fan favorite, and everyone wanted to see him come back heading into the 2021 season, and seeing him in the graveyard shift got people really excited, and I really enjoyed seeing him in the flagship store. Other new animatronics such as Baphomet and Mr. Howell surprised me and many other haunters by their incredible size from 7 foot to 8 foot, including Mr. Dark, who was a never-before-seen technology using a scissor mech that springs up to 8 feet tall. Such an amazing animatronic. We've never seen anything like that from Spirit. Grim, another animatronic that's super technologically advanced using servo motors, the first ever servo motor Spirit Halloween animatronic. Animatronics like the Caretaker, which is a really unique idea. Even animatronics like Ophelia, which is an awesome animatronic with her moving eyes that go back and forth, with a demon that slowly kind of goes behind her back. Evelyn Leach, a bride animatronic. We haven't seen a bride in a few years, but we got to see her this year, and she was a really unique concept put together by YJ. Then we also got some other animatronics, such as Buzzsaw, a really, really cool big animatronic, a big chunky animatronic that we haven't seen anything like that ever, with a moving blade, moving mouth, LED eyes. Such a really, really cool animatronic and an awesome wingspan to him. Harriet Hustle and Henry Hustle, a duo father and daughter animatronic with a storyline that we've never seen that before, with the first ever female clown, must I add, that Harriet Hustle is the first ever female clown. We got another Pennywise animatronic this year, which is of course Pennywise Super Great. We also got the return of Nightcrawler and the Assembly Line ISE. We got Beetlejuice after he was canceled for the 2020 season. We got, I'm trying to list things now. We got the return of Punctured Pete also, which is another interesting thing. We have Experiment 4 and $100 very, very good, nicely priced jump scare animatronic with the hand that pops out of the crate. We got Night Stalker, a scarecrow, after people have been requesting another scarecrow animatronic for years. After Looming Scarecrow, everyone loved him. We wanted the Scarecrow for years, and we got Night Stalker this year. And then I believe the only one that I have left to list actually is the return of Harvester of Souls we saw this year, which is absolutely really cool because Harvester was an awesome animatronic for 2020. Everyone loves him, and of course he returned for the 2020 season or 2021 season. The animatronic lineup for this year was absolutely incredible for everything that was in stores. Really enjoyed everything because I think everything had a really unique, I don't even really know what to call it, a unique concept, I guess, to it. Mr. Dark is something we've never seen before, of a scissor mechanism animatronic going up to 8 feet tall. Never seen anything even similar to that. Grim is a servo motor animatronic. Baphomet is a real kind of creature in stories, and then he was 7 feet tall. Mr. Howell was also 7 feet tall. We got 2 huge animatronics in the front of the assembly line, the front theme this year. The animatronic lineup, I think, was absolutely incredible this year. We got so many unique ideas and some really cool returners, such as Wacky Mole Clown and Grave Grabber Corpse Online, which I guess that leads me into the online onlys this year. For online onlys, we got animatronics like Grave Grabbing Corpse, like I mentioned, who was an online only for this year. And we got such an awesome animatronic lineup. And we got 2 Scoops as well, which is just such a cool prop. And such a big guy too from the videos and unboxings I've seen. He looks like such a huge animatronic. That was an awesome online only for this year. We have yet to see, as of the time of recording, we have yet to see the release of Bloody Bag of Jokes returning online only, and the return of Lil Nestor online only. I mean, The online onlys, the in-stores, the inbox only, such as W-Ray's Headless Jack. I'm trying to think. I think those are the only inbox only for this year. What an incredible animatronic lineup for 2021. I think each thing has a really unique idea and concept to it, and I think it all fits really, really well together and puts an awesome lineup together for animatronics. I really enjoyed what I purchased. I was able to purchase Mr. Howell, Grimm, Wacky Mole Clown, obviously the 2021 version, Henry Hustle, which I had a really, really fun time purchasing. Those are some awesome animatronics, and I got to buy my favorites, which were those. This was an awesome animatronic lineup for 2021, in my opinion, and I think it really worked well with the ISEs or the themes, which leads me into part 4, ranking the themes, which of course were the Halloween Factory assembly line and the Halloween Factory floor. So I think that the awesome animatronic lineup made the ISEs or the themes feel even cooler. We had the Halloween Factory assembly line in the front, featuring a moving conveyor belt with a really cool illusion that pumpkins were being carved, but it was just the same pumpkins going in over and over again. We had the digitized skeletons with the hats on, the construction helmet. We had the Halloween Factory entrance sign, which was bigger than any other ISE sign that we've had in recent years. We had the whole walkthrough area with the liquid floor tiles that moved as you stepped on them. We had the green glass that was on the walkthrough and on the archway entrance behind the animatronics. And overall, the assembly line was a really neat ISE. The factory floor in the back was over 10 feet tall. It had a little part where you actually could walk into it, and there was like a ceiling over you, creating a dark atmosphere. That lighting worked really well for animatronics in the corners, such as Night Stalker and Wacky Mole, with Wacky Mole featuring a black light string and Night Stalker featuring a red light string. Then we also had the kind of top part of the factory floor, I don't even really know what to call it, like the ledges, with the more digitized skeleton holding up the clipboards with the megaphones out there would yell at you. Behind Caretaker and Harvester of Souls, they had these digital screens that had a bunch of kind of skeletons on there, and then they would crash a forklift and a pumpkin monster would pop up. Another use of screens in the ISEs like we've seen in recent years. And again, just the size of the factory floor was absolutely incredible. It was over 10 feet tall. I have to say, I think that this year's ISEs and themes were some of my favorites that we've had in any recent years. Honestly, I think it was better than 2020. I think it was better than 2019. And I think it even goes back further. I must say, I think the Halloween Factory might tie with me with 2013, my favorite year of all time, the Clown Train and the Spirit Halloween Asylum. 2021's themes, the Halloween Factory, might tie with me for my favorite year ever. I think the ISEs this year were so cool. I love the idea of the Halloween Factory, a twisted take on Santa's Workshop. I think how the theme designer Mike Kroll, I think what he did with the ISEs this year was absolutely incredible. I love the green glass. I love the flashing lights in the walkthrough. I love like the construction tape that was on the risers that looked like a construction site. I love the hats, the construction helmets that went with the ISE. Everything about it. I think this year's themes were just so cool all around. The factory floor was so big and tall, and the assembly line had an awesome walkthrough. We haven't gotten a walkthrough in a few years now, so it was cool to have a walkthrough once again that had walls to it. This year's themes were absolutely incredible in my opinion. I think all of it was really cool, and I think the animatronics fit into it really well. The green glass was such a cool addition to it. I think that was really cool. I think the Pennywise sewer grate fit into it really well because it's sort of gray and like a sewer, and it kind of fits into the idea of a factory. I think Buzzsaw by far fit into the themes the best, more than any other animatronic, because you can kind of call him a construction worker because he wears the construction helmet really well. Punctured Pete, I think, fit into the themes really well. I love Harriet Hustle's swinging cage. I think that thing was so cool put together, how it had the fencing, and then it had a sign that said warning product testing area. That was such a cool addition to the Halloween Factory. How I loved how it actually was like a cage in the factory. Really cool. I love all the signage in the themes this year, such as the sign that said, "You're the reason why we put warning signs and everything." The photo ops were really cool. The headless skeleton photo op, you had the photo op that was kind of behind the factory floor with where the mirror was supposed to be, which I think that was really cool. You had the photo op that actually said Grotesque Creature Employee of the Month. So many cool photo ops, so many cool I mean, just the whole thing is so many cool features and concepts to go with the Halloween Factory. You had the conveyor belt, which is a really unique idea. You had the screens, you had the photo ops. So many cool pieces that went into the Halloween Factory, and I think it all came together to really put a cool thing together. The ISE pieces this year, such as the conveyor belt again, the liquid floor tiles was really, really cool. The green glass was such a cool piece. The screens, everything about it. I mean, this year, I would say the megaphones, the clipboards, the ISEs this year were really, really cool, and I love the idea of a factory, otherwise known as a twisted take on Santa's Workshop. That's what the theme designer Mike Kroll said, that he was inspired by Santa's Workshop and he wanted to make it like evil. The Halloween Factory is easily one of my favorite themes of all time, going with the Halloween Factory assembly line and the Halloween Factory floor combined. This was such an awesome set of themes, and I hope that it even gets better for 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, next up is my final part in my Spirit Halloween 2021 season overview, and that is my overall rankings and thoughts of Spirit Halloween 2021. So overall, I really believe that the Spirit Halloween 2021 season is one of the best seasons we've gotten from Spirit in any recent years. I really enjoyed the animatronic lineup. I think everything in it fit really perfectly and had a unique concept with it. I think the pricing this year for animatronics was really, really good, especially for what you were getting, such as Mr. Howell was $300 and he was almost 8 feet tall when he was fully up. Bathman had some huge size to him and he was $300 as well. I think the animatronics were awesome. Like I just said, I think the ISEs and the themes this year were some of my favorite in recent years. The Halloween Factory was such a cool idea, from the signage to the conveyor belt to the walkthrough to the size of the factory floor. Everything about it was just absolutely perfectly put together and really well thought out. From the signage, like I said, it was just so many cool details, especially with the clipboards that actually had drawings of the concept of themes for 2020. It was so intricately designed and really had a close eye and attention to detail for both themes, the assembly line and the factory floor. Awesome job with that. I think the preseason was absolutely insane, how Spirit decided to promote their season with the Graveyard Shift countdown, to the Graveyard Shift trailer, to sending out the posters on Instagram DMs. Everything about the preseason was put together really, really well, and I had a lot of fun waiting and then seeing that Spirit uploaded something and then trying to dig into it and watch frame by frame to see what was in it and what animatronic they were trying to show us. I hope they do something similar and a similar marketing strategy for the 2022 season. This season, I think, had some awesome pieces to it. Like I just broke down, I think the themes are really, really good, the animatronics are really, really good, and the preseason was really, really good. And when you combine all of that together, you make this awesome, perfectly orchestrated season that was such a fun thing to create for as a creator, so much fun to participate in, like attending the flagship store, and so much fun in just living and buying, such as going to my local stores, going every week, twice a week, and buying animatronics. This was an awesome season for a regular person, a collector, and I'm sure it even was for an employee. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. This season was just so much fun to watch and so much fun to participate in. I had a ton of fun creating videos for it from July all the way now to November 1st. It's insane that so much time has passed. It just felt like yesterday that I was doing my video talking about the Graveyard Shift countdown clock, and now it's November 1st. I bought all my animatronics. I've been to my local stores about 20 times combined, almost 30 times. I went to the flagship store. Just this season has blown my mind how it's gone by so quickly, and I am definitely going to hold the memories for everything that we just witnessed. I really enjoyed everything that Spirit put together for this season. The animatronics were absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Spirit, for really giving us an awesome animatronic lineup. Easily, I think, better than 2020's lineup, which, by the way, I just want to mention, I thought that 2020's lineup was absolutely insane, and now I think that 2021 is even better than that. So that tells you what I think about the 2021 animatronic lineup. I think the 2021 themes are tied for me with 2013 with the Clown Train. Definitely better than, at least in my opinion, definitely better than Reaper's Island Village. I think I really enjoyed Reaper's Island, but I think this was even better. The Halloween Factory was an awesome ISE, and I'm sad to see it go, but I think there'll be something even cooler for 2022. This was an incredible season to do everything in, to participate in, to buy in, and just to create videos for. Thank you all so much for an awesome Spirit Halloween 2021 season. July to November 1st is a long time, but it feels like that when you're attending the flagship store, going to your own local store, buying animatronics, talking about the stuff you're seeing. It goes by really, really quickly, and I just cannot wait to do it all again next July for the 2022 season. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed the 2021 season. I hope you enjoyed my season overview discussing every intricate piece of the Spirit Halloween 2021 season. Let me know in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with. And hey, let me know in the comments, do your own breakdown of every single piece. Do every single part that I did, the preseason, the animatronics, the themes, the flagship store, and your overall thoughts. Write it all down in the comments. Tell me what you disagree, tell me what you agree with, and I will write back to you and give you a heart on the comments. Thank you all so much for an awesome 2021 season. Now, I am not taking a break. I don't want any of you to think I'm taking a break, because I'm not. I will still be uploading for the rest of the year, all the way up to again next July. I am just saying this is the end of the 2021 Spirit season, and very, very soon, you're going to be seeing some 2022 stuff on my channel, such as prediction videos already. I plan to have some prediction videos out some point in November, if not early December. I'm going to start talking about what I believe is going to happen for 2022, and we are already jumping right back onto it for what Spirit has for us next year. This was an awesome season, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Ladies and gentlemen, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I will see you guys later for more Spirit Halloween, I guess, 2022 videos. Goodbye.